How to make Printify products. In this video, I'm going to be showing you, number one, the manual method of creating Printify products one at a time, and number two, I'm also going to be showing you the automated method to generate large numbers of products in bulk on Printify with just a few simple button clicks. We'll start out with the manual method to make our products one at a time. So really the starting point is you come to this catalog section and you have to find the type of product that you want to create. So you can come here and you can search if you want to. You can also pull up the drop down and the categories that they have. For the purposes of this demonstration, let's start out with just some simple posters. We're going to select this one here, vertical and horizontal map posters. So once you've found the product that you want to make, you can come here and click on it, and there's a little start designing button that you click here. And so the first step is you want to select the variants that you're doing. So let's say you have images already prepared and you know, hey, most of my images are the same size and aspect ratio, and they're all going to be approximately like a 2:3 aspect ratio based on the dimensions. Cool, then just whatever variants you need, you can just sort of come here and select them inside of this little section here. So select variants, you come here. We're going to be doing the 20:30, the 16:24, and the 24:36. Those are the 2:3 aspect ratios, and those are going to match the images in this folder here. So that's going to be all good. We have our variant selected here. So next you'll want to add your image to the product. This is basically the print area for the product that we're creating, which is a poster. There's a bunch of stuff on the left here. A lot of the stuff you're probably never going to use because I imagine the majority of people just have an image of their own that they want to add to create a product for. So you can just click this upload button, click my device, and this takes you to your folder here. So you can just come here, find whatever the current image is that you're on. It'll upload it to your Printify store, and once it's ready to go, it'll show up here. And you can fiddle with the settings as needed by clicking on the layer over here if you need to size it differently. Resize it, whatever it is. This one happens to have fit perfectly. Let me delete this and we'll select a different one actually. I'm going to go my device. I have this one here, which is a different aspect ratio. We're going to upload this one here and you'll see, aha, this does not take up the full space. So if you're creating posters or canvas art or something where you want it to take the full space, obviously a bunch of gaps and white space is no bueno. So you can come down here to this layer section, and down here you can customize the scaling if you want to. I guess you could technically do like a drag and drop method as well. They also have those little handy guides that show up, as you see, the little red guide. So that can show you if your image is centered, and that should allow you to position it kind of for what you're going for. So let's just go a little bigger like this maybe. You can just drop it in here to fill the space. The cool thing about the automated method I'm going to show you is it actually resizes your images to perfectly fit the print area. So instead of coming in here and diddling around, the automated technique I'm going to show you later, where we create the products in bulk, that actually will just automatically resize your images to perfectly fit the print area of your selected variant. So that's going to be pretty cool. Anyway, though, we'll go back to our earlier image just because it fits nicely and is sized. What was I on? Nebula above the lake. This one here. So this is good, but let's say you have a different aspect ratio. Like all of these are 2:3 and it's the same ratio. But if you happen to have a slightly different one inside of there, maybe you wanted to add 18:24. That's going to make it look a little different, obviously. And, sometimes you can customize the scaling, and there's even a button here where you can say, hey, I want to make a specific design just for this variant here. Anyway, so the default looks pretty good for these ones. For this one, let's say we want to do something different. Cool. You can say make a specific design, then you make your changes. You can move it around like this, whatever you want to do. And then these ones will have the original image, and this will have the unique settings applied to it. There's some other stuff here on the left, like if you want to do complicated stuff, like you can add text. If you want to add some sort of a text layer, you could say wonderful arts. And then you should be able to move this. There's a little hand move tool thing down here or whatever. I don't know why you would do this like natively inside of the Printify interface. To me, this is crazy because if you're going to be adding text, whether it's a watermark or whatever it is, I mean, this is like a pre-processing step that you should be doing inside of Photoshop or whatever it is. But if for whatever weird reason you want to just natively edit stuff inside of here in the interface, that is a feature that's supported. And layers, again, if you want to upload a second image on top of it, it'll probably let you do that. Again, I don't know why anyone on the planet would do this, but if you have some sort of a logo you want to superimpose in the corner or something like that, you can stack layers like this. Again, 90% of people, you're probably just having a single artwork image that you want to feature on a product, and it's probably the simple workflow that's going to work for just about everyone. There's also the option here to generate AI images. Again, I don't know why you would do this natively inside of Printify when you can use a tool like Midjourney, which is just the gold standard of AI image generation. To me, this seems like the sort of thing that you would do on your own beforehand to sort of prepare your artwork, get everything ready, and then you would come in here and just use Printify to create the products. But again, if you want to, I've actually never even tried to use this, so this is just going to be my first experience doing it. Let's just try to create one. Let's say beautiful artwork scene featuring a galaxy above a lake with a mountain landscape in the background. The sky and scene is a bluish and purple color. Let's just generate this. Let's just make this and see what happens. It says enhance my prompt. What, is mine not good enough? Let's go ahead and just fire this off. I've never actually used this before, so this is going to be a little bit fun for the demonstration. Generate image. Let's see what it makes. 30 seconds. I have to sit here and wait. Oh my goodness. My guess is it's probably going to look like shit. That's my prediction. That's really not that good. That's really not that good, bro. Like, it's not terrible. Like, I don't feel like I need a barf bag, you know what I mean? But it's not great. But okay, let's say you do this. Cool, I guess you can apply image and drop your image here. And they create like some tiny, shitty little image for me. Wow, thank you, Printify. Awesome. Sick. So that's one option as well, I guess. Graphics, I don't know who the fuck would ever do this, but if you want to just natively build some stuff, you can do that as well. Shutterstock, if you want to pay $1 a pop for some shitty pattern image. Fiverr, what am I going to do? Fucking hire a guy to just make an image for me and just twiddle my thumbs while I wait? I mean, some of this stuff is a little silly in my opinion. Anyway, let's keep it simple. Select your variants, upload your image from your device, and then you can just size it, position it to your liking, make sure everything looks good, and, ooh, whoopsie. And we're going to go ahead and just say that that's good for us. There are some other settings here, I guess. You can automatically, I don't know, you can do some weird shit like flip horizontally, fill to placeholder. That's pretty cool, I guess. I could save you some time. But anyway, that's really the process for that. So from here, you can just click Save Product, and we'll just give it a second. It's going to show you some previews of the mockup images and stuff like that. For the sake of this demo, we're just going to use the default ones. We're not going to really diddle around with this too much. From here, we'll just click Save Selection to move to the next step. So here we are on the product page for this. There's still some work to do because it's still using the default title and stuff, but as you can see, it has the variants selected, the artwork has been added to it, some of the default mockup images are showing up here, and so forth. So we're going to scroll down here, and this is where you really supply the product inputs and just the basic information about this product before you either publish it to your store or just save it as a draft. We'll come up here to the top, title, description, tags, some other settings here. Title, we'll just say galactic lake landscape scene, and then we'll say poster wall art. Come here, description, blah blah blah. This is where you can type your SEO description. There's always going to be some default stuff that populates, giving you sort of the generic information about the product, but then you can just come here and say this artwork piece showcases a beautiful galaxy above a mountain, lake, landscape scene at night, whatever. Again, the automated method I'm going to show you. So this is where you can really save a tremendous amount of time on this process versus the manual method. The automated technique actually uses AI image recognition to evaluate and analyze each of your artwork images, and it actually understands the scene and the image content, and it'll output SEO-optimized descriptions that, you know, describe the artwork piece and use the appropriate keywords for SEO and stuff like that. And it really saves you a ton of time, because if you're just sitting here racking your brain, typing the stuff, you know, typing a paragraph or 2 paragraphs describing the lake, the reflection, the colors, trying to use the appropriate art terms, and you're doing that for dozens or hundreds of products you're creating, it's going to get really boring and repetitive. And the automated technique actually uses AI to generate the titles, the descriptions, and the tags to just save you a ton of time on this process. Anyway, for now, we're starting off with the manual method, so blah, blah, blah. Imagine that I spend 10 more minutes here typing more stuff, and then we have our description ready to go. You can come down here to the tag section. It'll have some defaults inside of here. I don't know why TikTok would show up, because my store is not connected to TikTok. I'm not affiliated with TikTok. We're going to go ahead and get rid of that one. Back to school, like some of the default ones, I'm like, what the fuck, why is this in here? So we'll go ahead and just add some tags. We'll just say lake, landscape, galaxy, astronomy, nights time, whatever, you get the idea. Anyway, this is where your text inputs go to describe the product. Definitely the title and probably the first paragraph of the description is going to be important for SEO purposes. So you want to make sure that you're including keywords that help to basically make sure your products show up for searches that somebody is typing into Google. Because if I just said artwork, 1, poster wall arts, not a very good descriptive title for this artwork piece, and it's not the kind of thing that's going to make this artwork, rank for relevant searches. But if you're including keywords and somebody searching the internet for poster wall art featuring a galactic lake landscape scene at night, then that makes it more likely that when they see your particular product, they'll say, hey, that's what I'm looking for. That's what I had in mind. And you want to make sure that if you're doing this manually one at a time, that you're including the appropriate keywords to make sure that your product is showing up in the search engines for the queries that people are typing. So you can come down here. There's a little shipping profile section. This is probably going to be set up on your store side of things, but that's an option as well. We're not going to worry too much about this. Down here in this section, pricing, this is where you can set the prices for each variant. So over here it says the sizes and what variant this corresponds to, and then we got the prices here in this section. This shows you the estimated profit, factoring in the cost that you have to pay for the creation of the product. So you can just come in here, type whatever prices you want, and that's going to set it for each particular variant. That's really it. There's some additional settings here if you want to, with things like variant visibility, what gets synced on your store. If your store is connected to Shopify, you can also select particular collections and set it up like that. But really, that's about the basics. I would just focus on the main things starting out. Just make sure you have good descriptive titles, descriptions, and tags that include the appropriate keywords. Make sure your prices are set to what you want. And then from there, you can really just save it as a draft. And when you're ready for it, you can publish it and push it to your store. Now, this was a pretty simple product. I'm going to quickly just show you one or two others. We're going to go through it very fast just to show you a couple additional settings and options that you'll sometimes see that makes it a little more complicated. This here is a canvas art product where, let's say we add the artwork image. I can actually probably just pick my files because I have this uploaded already. So we'll pick this one here. And let's just say, I'm just going to pick one real fast for the sake of showing you this. So, whoopsie. I'm always fucking up the zoom on this. So here we have this selected. We'll go ahead. I'm actually going to use this. There's a fill to placeholder. Haha, nice. That's a handy little button, actually. That'll save you some time. So we have this selected real quick. Some products have unique settings, like the printing settings. If you're doing a canvas art, you can do a print on sides. You can even optionally mirror the sides so that the full image gets contained. Or alternatively, the print on sides method will have the full image sort of spill over onto the sides of the product. Other images will sometimes have different attributes, like you can pick the color of a t-shirt or the background color. I don't know why you would include a background for a canvas art piece, but that's just something you can do as well for certain products. Other ones might have other customizable things. It's really going to be specific to each product. Like if you're doing a framed canvas piece, for example, we'll just pull this up real fast. If it'll load sometime this millennium, here we go, start designing. Go ahead and just pick my image real fast. I'll just show you. You can also pick frame colors for the variants that you do here. So here you actually have to go frame by frame. So we're going to do the white frame, 16 by 24, and then you can pick the black frame. I don't want to do 55 sizes. I'm not that aggressive. I mean, come on, let's be reasonable here. So we got the black frame selected. It's kind of a tedious process to go in and do it like this, but this is something you can do. 16. Where is this? Where is this little wanker? There you are. Okay. Pull up this handy button here. Whoa, look at that. Cowabunga. All right, we'll go ahead and print on sides, mirror the sides like this. And so here we have the 3 different frame colors selected. So some products will have unique things like this you have to set up. It's really going to be specific to the product you're doing. I bet there's probably some apparel products where they have their own stuff, t-shirts. We'll pull this up real fast. We'll do just a plain, good old white t-shirt. This one here, obviously the mock-up area, whatever you call this thing, the print area thing is going to look a little different for each one. But this one here has, I'm just going to drop something random inside of here real fast. So this one here, you can pick, it's kind of similar to the frame colors. You can pick like the shirt colors that you're offering as well. And you'd have to go in and pick the sizes and stuff like that. So it's really going to vary based upon the product that you're doing. Some products even have multiple print areas. Like this one here, apparently you can print the graphic on the front and then you can do a different graphic on the back. apparently a neck label if you want to add some sort of neck logo design. I don't know why you would want to get that advanced with your workflow, but really my recommendation is just sort of get familiar with the particular product that you're creating, just fiddle around inside of the interface and see like what are the unique settings each product has, and just figure out what it is that you need to do and set up. You can even go sizes here, like on this, you can select, do I want to sell the larges? Maybe you're selling to you know, like it's a plus sized shirt store or something, you know, maybe that's sort of your selling point or whatever it is. Just come in here and just play around with this and just figure out what are the different customization options, and, you know, what are the different things I can set up for this product to really just figure out what's best for your particular needs and a product that you're creating. But that is basically the manual process for creating your products one at a time inside of the Printify interface. Now we're going to show you how to do this in bulk for, let's say you have a large number of artwork images. Like in this folder, I have 168 images here, and, you know, the process of going into the interface and clicking around, and I have to find the product, I have to go here, I have to navigate to it, I have to find it in here, start designing, then you have to come in here, you have to upload the image, you have to select the variants, you know, maybe if it's a more complicated product, you have to select the frame colors or the t-shirt colors, the sizes that you're selling. Then you have to come here for each product and you have to rack your brain and do the boring work of typing the description and the title and including all of the keywords and the description and the tags. It's a really repetitive process where for each individual product, if you're doing these steps well and if you're being thorough, and especially if you're writing a really solid description and making sure all the SEO keywords are included, you're probably going to spend like a solid 20 minutes per product, maybe even longer. And the automated method of being able to just generate your products in bulk can save you a tremendous amount of time on this process. So the easiest way to automate the creation of your products is using a tool called the Bulk POD Product Creator. This is something that actually connects with your Printify store, and it just generates large numbers of products in bulk with just a few simple button clicks. It's really simple to use. There's only just 3 little setup sections where you basically just select your image files, select an example product to point to, and then just specify the product creation rules in terms of what you want it to do for the titles, the descriptions, and the tags. You can just sort of customize this stuff so it creates the optimal products for your needs, and it really makes it easy to just come in here, click a few things, set up your operation, click create my products, and it'll just automatically generate all your Printify products for you. We're going to quickly show you how to just run an operation using this. We're going to generate a batch of products here on our Printify store in bulk. So step 1, select your image files. This is pretty straightforward. Whatever the images that you want to use to create products for, you basically just come here, choose files, and you just navigate to whatever the folder is. We're just going to do a small folder for this particular operation. You can just go Control A, select all the images, whatever, and then you can just click open like this, and I have my 29 files selected. So the tool is going to create a new product for each one of the artwork images, basically. Also note that I deliberately included a couple of missized images inside of here just to show you, as I mentioned earlier, how this automation tool will resize your images to automatically fit the print area. So instead of coming in and diddling around and moving the image and stuff like that, this tool will just automatically stretch your images to fit the print area for the products you're creating. So that's useful because it saves you the trouble of, you know, messing around in Photoshop to make sure everything is sized perfectly, or diddling around and moving this to get everything perfected. Using this automation tool, it'll just, number 1, automatically upscale the images to high resolution, so you'll have a 300 dpi high quality image, so you're not selling pixelated trash to your customers. Number 2, it'll automatically stretch the images to fit the full print area. So this whole space here, even if the image is sized to where, like, this variant here is a different aspect ratio, if you have this selected, it'll actually resize the image so that the full image still fits inside of here, and it'll basically create a unique image for the different variants sizes or aspect ratios that you have selected. So that's a pretty useful feature, and it can save you a lot of time. There's a second option for preserve image aspect ratios. So this is useful for if you're not necessarily creating a product like posters where you want to make sure there's no gaps or white space or anything. If you want the full area filled, then stretch images to fit print areas makes sense. But if you're doing something like a t-shirt where it'll still look good even if the full print area isn't necessarily filled, then if you want to make sure that there's no distortion or squashing or anything, you can select the preserve image aspect ratios option. And so whatever the aspect ratio is for your original image, if it's 2:3, if it's 4:3, whatever, it'll basically fit it inside of the print area and just sort of hit the nearest boundary, if that makes sense. So it'll still size it to where it fits inside of the print area, hitting the boundary. It just won't squash it or stretch it to the sides or distort it or do anything like that. Totally up to you based on your preferences and the particular products that you're creating. Step 2, select your example products. So this is really how the tool knows what products to create. This is how the tool knows what variants to use, what prices to use for the different variants. Whatever the settings are that you want to apply for the bulk product creation operation, this is really how the tool fundamentally knows what to do, what variants to use, what product to make, and so forth. So first, obviously, you need to connect it to your store. Let me go ahead and X this out, and we're going to sort of start fresh with this. So I went ahead and reset this. So we're going to go ahead and just go through the setup process real fast. Create products for this store. So here you can just come to this drop down, connect another store. This is where you connect the tool to your Printify store. And so I'm just going to name my store. This is for Canvas Art Central. You can just give it a name so that you know which store is which. Printify store ID, you can find this on the orders page for your store. So if you come here and go to this URL section, I don't care about your little survey. I'm busy recording a YouTube video. Here on the orders page, if you come up to this section up top here, you want to copy this little number string. This is the unique identifier for the store that you have selected. And if you have different stores, each store will have its own unique store ID. So you just come up here, copy your number string, paste it in here, and this is how the tool will know, cool, here's the particular store that he wants us to generate the products for. Last thing is the Printify API key, so this tool can connect with your Printify store and create the products. You can follow this link if you want to. It'll take you to the connections section of your website, or you can just go account connections. It'll take you to the same spot. Generate an API token, and this basically allows other software tools to connect with your Printify store to perform whatever operations they need to. And so you can generate that. It'll give you a little, it's like a little string of text, and it looks just like a bunch of random letters and numbers and stuff. You can just copy what it gives you there, paste it inside of here. Mine's already copied to my clipboard for the sake of this demo, but once that's good, paste it inside of here. This is all good. Connect my store, and store successfully saved. So next we're going to specify the example product to use for this operation. So you come here, select another product, you can give it a name and then put the product ID here. The example product is exactly what it sounds like. This is just sort of the ideal product that you want to create more of. So what you can do, I already have a couple created here on my store. Let me find, I was going to do the poster one for this demo. I believe it was this one. Yeah, we'll use this one here. So really all you need to do is just go through that manual process I showed you, where you go into the editor, you upload the image, you select your variants, you set the prices on the pricing page and so forth, and really just sort of generate like the ideal product that you want to create more of. Once you've created that product and set up the variants, and you've set up, the prices for the different variants and stuff like that. Once you've created your example product and everything looks good, and you basically just want to make a lot more of these products in a bulk operation, come here to this URL, and there's a little string here that you want to copy. It's just after the slash here, and before this little question mark thing. That's going to be the ID for this particular product. It's sort of like the identifier in Printify. So you can come here, paste that inside of here, and then you can just give it a name. We're just going to say wall posters 2:3 aspect ratio. Go ahead and save product. Example product successfully saved. And that's all good. So now the tool knows, cool, here are the images he wants to use. Here's what he wants us to do with the images when we create the products. The tool is connected to our store, so it knows what store to create the products on. And it also knows, cool, this is the product he wants us to use in the automated operation. And we're going to create a lot more of these products, except whatever image is inside of here, we're going to use each of these images to create the product. So it'll basically start with image number 1. It'll create one of these products using image number 1. And then it'll move on to image number 2 to create a second product for the second image, and so forth for however many images you have selected here. The final step, man, this is where you can just really save a tremendous amount of time. This is where the tool can actually use AI image recognition to analyze each of your images and basically generate unique custom titles and descriptions and tags for the particular image that you're using here. And it can just save you a ton of time, because if you're coming in here and manually typing the stuff and you have to rack your brain and come up with the title and include all the keywords and think about the art terms to use. If you're doing that for even just one particular product, it's probably going to take you like a solid 20 minutes of work to do a really good job at it. Instead, you can just come here to this section. There's a section for titles, descriptions, and tags. We're going to do generate using AI for all of them. You can use the default settings as well. Like for the titles, the default option is use the image file names for the product title. So if the title is Geometric Serenity, when it creates the product on your store, it'll title that particular product Geometric Serenity. For the product description, the default is copy from example product, and for the tags, again, it's the same defaults. For our purposes, we're going to use the AI image recognition feature. So product titles, we'll start with that. There's two options here. You can do simple titles or compound titles. The simple title, that's exactly what it sounds like. The AI will just give you a simple, concise title that describes the art piece. Full moon landscape, galactic lake scene at night, spooky Leviathan at nights, whatever it happens to be. Typically, these are pretty short. Maybe it'll be something like 2 to 6 words or so. And then alternatively, you can do the compound title, which is where the AI will give you the simple title at the front, like it'll say full moon landscape, followed by subtitle segments that include additional keywords in each title. So it might give you full moon landscape, followed by black and white photography, scenic night artwork, serene midnight landscape. You get the idea. And again, all of these are going to be accurate and descriptive, specific to the particular artwork piece that you're on. You can also optionally include custom text in each title. I would strongly recommend doing this for SEO purposes, because if you're creating, poster wall arts, it's a good idea to include that in the title for if people are searching the internet for poster wall art featuring a full moon landscape, featuring a black and white photography scene, whatever it is, including these keywords make it more likely that your product will show up for those particular searches. So whatever it is that you're generating, maybe you're doing, cotton t-shirts, frames, canvas arts, whatever it happens to be, you can just append this custom text to each of the created product titles. So basically this little template title section, it shows you the sort of breakdown. It'll give you the AI generated part at the front, plus the custom text that you added to it. So the AI generated title might be full moon landscape, plus it'll add the custom text, framed canvas art. And so for a bulk operation, you can really see how instead of manually, racking your brain to come up with 29 or 290 or whatever it happens to be, thinking and including all these keywords yourself, for a bulk operation, you can just sort of specify the rule sets that you want to apply to your created products, and it'll just automatically do that for you and save you a ton of time on this process. If you want, you can flip this around. You could say framed canvas arts. You can toggle this little arrow, have the custom text at the front, whatever tickles your fancy. For our purposes, we're going to do the AI generated parts at the front, followed by the description of the product. So that's good. That's what we're going to do for our particular operation. I'm going to do the compound title with 2 subtitle segments. We don't want to look too spammy, like we're doing too much keyword stuffing. Some stores also actually have limits to the number of characters you can have in your title, so you don't want to push it too far because your title might get truncated and chopped off. Just find out what works best for your particular needs and workflow. For what we're doing here, based on our preferences, we're going to go with 2 subtitle segments. So that's all good. Product descriptions, once again, we're going to use the generate using AI option. It's basically just going to generate an accurate keyword-rich description of each particular artwork image that you're passing through the tool for each created product. It'll include all the appropriate artwork terms and descriptors and, whatever keywords accurately describe the image. It's just going to do that automatically for you. So you don't have to sit here and talk about the abstract portrait and, the mosaic of colors, and you have to sit here and really just torture yourself by just typing description after description. It's really just a pretty menial and repetitive task that you can just offload to the AI part of this automation tool to just free up a lot of time on this process. And it's shockingly accurate. We're gonna run the operation here in just a minute to actually generate the products, but it is just stunningly accurate and does a fantastic job of accurately describing the images. So there's really no need for you to waste your time doing this manually unless you just really enjoy doing it or have to have, something very specific included in there for legal reasons. But you can just offload this to the automation tool and the AI will just do all this boring, repetitive work for you. There's a section here where you can include custom HTML in each description. So this is similar to the title. This is a similar idea, except you're doing it with the actual HTML inside of the description. So if you have inside of here, generic descriptions about the product you're selling, where it talks about the paper quality, the different sizes, or if it's like the t-shirt, if you come in here here and it talks about like the cotton materials and, you know, what it's made of. This is sort of like your generic product information that applies to each product you're creating. There's a little source code button here you can click, and this actually gives you the HTML. So whatever styling is applied, you know, if you have bold text or whatever it is you have styled inside of here, you can just copy this actual source code section here. So we'll go back to our poster product. So you can come here, just copy the whole thing, Control A, paste it inside of here, and that will basically add that to each of your descriptions after the AI generated description. So here at the top section, you'll have AI generated description goes here, followed by the custom HTML that you added to the bottom half. So this is super useful. You can just sort of decide how you want your descriptions to look. You can style everything correctly, include all the information you want, whatever it is, and then just copy the source code, paste it in here, and it'll just drop that at the end of your description. If you want, you can do it at the front. You can toggle this arrow here. We're going to go ahead and stick with this default setting, which has the AI parts at the front. Product tags, you guessed it. We're going to use the generate using AI option here. We'll just do 20 tags. That's fine. Again, it'll just analyze the image, include the appropriate keywords and art terms and, you know, categorization words, whatever it is. This will help to give you a little SEO boost. Down here in this section, if you want to make sure that a certain number of tags get added to each created product, like poster, poster wall arts, wall decor, art prints, wall art, whatever it is. If you want to make sure that these tags always get added to the products you make for the bulk operation, you can just include them here, make sure each one is separated by a comma. And so what it'll do is it'll create the AI generated tags, plus it'll add these tags to whatever tags the AI came up with as well. So this is useful for if you just want to make sure that for SEO purposes, the appropriate tags are included. If people are searching your store, again, you want to make sure they're able to find the right products. Some stores like Shopify also do tag-based collections. So you can optionally create collections where instead of needing to manually add and select your products and add them to a Shopify collection, instead, if you have a tag-based collection rule set up, you know, anything that has the tag poster, wall art will get added to that particular section of your website or whatever it is. Anyway, you can just add these tags here and it'll just add those to each created product on top of whatever the AI comes up with. So this is all good. We're going to run this operation and show you how the tool actually creates the products on our store. We'll take a look at the AI generated outputs, and you're really going to see how automating this process and generating your products in bulk can save a tremendous amount of time on this part of your workflow. Real quick, we're just going to save our operation because if you have a standardized workflow where, hey, I'm always creating this particular type of poster or canvas art or whatever, instead of needing to come in here, specify the settings each time, make sure everything is typed exactly how you want it, you can just save this full operation down here in this section. We'll just say wall posters V1, 2:3 aspect ratio, save current operation. And this will basically just show up in this little drop-down section. So let's say you come to this website fresh. I'm going to be very daring and refresh. Cleared everything. Oh no, I lost my progress. You can just come here, wall posters V1, load saved operation. Operation successfully loaded. This basically just loaded everything inside of here. So all you need to do is just select your images, come here, choose files, 29 images, all the settings are here, this is good to go. All you need to do is just come here, click create my products, and it'll generate the products for you. So we're gonna go ahead and launch this operation and create our Printify products in bulk here. We're gonna click create my products, and there we go, creating your products. We'll go ahead and take a look at some of the outputs and show you the true glory and majesty of automating this process. So we'll go ahead and refresh on our products page. I'm going to close out of some of this stuff because I just have too much action going on here. We'll go ahead and refresh our products page and take a look at some of the outputs so you can see for yourself. So this was the first one that it did. I'm going to start with this one because this is one where the image actually didn't originally fit the print area correctly, because this was one of our 4:5 images, and the variants are actually 2:3 aspect ratios. You'll recall that we had the stretch images to fit print areas option selected, so we're going to pop over here, we're going to step into the edit design section, and as you can see, it actually resized the image so the full image fits inside of here. Pop this open real quick. So the full image is inside of here, but it actually just resized it to fit the print area perfectly. And I included 2 different variant sizes just to show you the fact that even if there are different aspect ratios in your selected variants, cool, no problem. It'll create a unique image for each particular one. So you can actually see the file name. It shows you the dimensions for this image, 4800 by 7200. versus this one, which is 5400 by 7200, which is of course reflective of the different aspect ratios. So that's pretty cool. It did that automatically for us. We're going to go back to this page here. So here were the variants that our initial template product had, and as you can see, it carried over and it used the same ones. Same with the price points. If you want to scroll down here, you can see we had these prices set up for the example product, pop over to the one that it created, and again, these settings carried over nicely. The coolest part, in my opinion, is the AI image recognition, because this was entirely AI generated. This is just what it came up with. Reflections of serenity, tranquil lake landscape, golden hour nature photography, poster wall art. And it's doing this automatically for each of the products it's creating. Same with the description. It talks about how the serene landscape showcases a tranquil lake, reflecting a vibrant sky and golden fields, blah, blah, blah. Pretty accurate stuff. The tags as well, it used the AI. It came up with lake, landscape, reflection, golden hour, scenic, and so forth. And you'll recall we had those generic tags where we said, hey, go ahead and include poster wall arts, wall decor, art prints, and all of those carried over here in this bottom section, as you can see. So did a fantastic job. And of course we have this was the custom HTML. You'll recall that we sort of pasted that in there to include that. That got transferred over. And we have this poster wall art section that got appended to the AI generated title. Basically exactly as it shows you in this preview here, AI generated part here, followed by the custom text at the end. Anyway, we'll take a look at a few more. This one's a little more boring in my opinion, but we'll look at some more tantalizing images. We'll take a look at a few more here. We'll do sort of a lightning round. We'll go a little faster. Now, I also deliberately included different artwork styles in this particular batch of images. You know, some evil artwork, some landscape artwork, some funny, classy animal portraits. I wanted to sort of showcase the versatility of the AI to really show you that for different styles, even for like fragments of a scene, for, you know, abstract styles of artwork, it really does a fantastic job of understanding the image, using the appropriate descriptive terms, and just saves you a ton of time on this boring, repetitive part of your workflow where you have to come here, rack your brain, type this stuff, use all the artwork terms. Nope, you can just come here, click a few buttons, and it'll automate that process for you. So this one here, Neon Nightmare, symbiotic horror, digital fantasy art. Pretty good name for this, Neon Nightmare. I'd say that's pretty solid. This striking digital artwork depicts a menacing, otherworldly creature in a vibrant, neon-drenched color palette. The figure's silhouette is sharply defined against a swirling background of blues, purples, and pinks, creating a stark contrast. Pretty solid, very accurate stuff, if I might say so myself. This one here, Psychedelic Enigma, abstract face art, vibrant digital artwork. This vibrant digital artwork showcases a mesmerizing abstract face emerging from a swirling vortex of colors. The piece is dominated by piercing yellow eyes and a menacing grin, creating a striking focal point amidst the chaos. Blah, 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 lots of other stuff in there. Again, all very accurate, very descriptive stuff. Great for SEO and just saves you a ton of time where you have to sit here and type this stuff out. It talks about the drips of paint, adding texture and depth, enhancing the overall dynamic feel of the composition. You know, I feel like you could hire an entire department of artwork professors and students, and they couldn't do half a good job as this AI tool is doing automatically for you. It talks about how this piece evokes a sense of intense emotion and raw energy, capturing the viewer's attention with its bold use of color and form. Really good stuff. The AI part of this tool is absolutely my favorite part of it. The Gentleman Manatee, Victorian Surrealism, Anthropomorphic Digital Art, Digital Horizon, Geometric Landscape, Monochrome Surrealism, Poster Wall Art. This one here, Digital Horizon, Pixelated Mountain Sunset, Nature meets Technology Art. I mean, this is a complex piece where it's like pixels are blending into a sort of sunset, foggy, mountain hill type of scene, and the AI just absolutely crushes it with understanding what it's seeing, what it depicts. So it doesn't really matter what artwork styles you throw at it. Low poly digital landscape, abstract nature artwork, geometric mountain majesty. You can really just sort of dump your images here, customize the rules for the titles, the descriptions, and the tags, click create my products, and this tool will automatically do that for you in bulk, completely automated, 100% on autopilot. Anyway, drop a like if you found this helpful, whether you're doing the manual method for just creating a few products one at a time in Printify, or if you're trying to generate products in bulk by the dozen or by the 100. Either way, now you know your options. Hope you found this helpful. Thank you guys for watching. See you later.